I put this compilation together of Zohran Mamdani to show that he is absolutely a terrible choice to hold any position of power within our government. Multiple things that he supports are against the American values and against what our nation stands for. And he's the type of person who would lead to the destruction and the absolute changing of the fabric of America. And if more people like him get in, we cannot expect America to be prosperous, because the ideas that he supports are not ideas that are prosperous. And you can see that in every other nation in the world where he comes from and the things that he supports. You can see communism and socialism. They don't work in any of the other countries. And then one of the big ones for me is that he is a Muslim. And it says in the Quran over 100 times to kill unbelievers and to have violence against them. Quran 5:33 says to cut off their hands and feet and kill them wherever you find them. Quran 9:29 says to fight those who don't believe in Allah or in Muhammad, or to make them pay a tax. And these are people who are trying to get positions in our government when the things that they believe is that the majority of America should be killed or taxed for the cause of Islam. So this is insane. This guy should not have any position of power. And these videos, I hope, would prove to anybody who thinks that he should have power, these should show that he absolutely should not.
In 32 days, we have an opportunity to prove that Muslims don't just belong in New York City, we also belong in City Hall.
The only way for us to prove our Americanism is to prove that we are loyal to the security forces of this government, of this country. We can't be loyal to that. If you are loyal to that, then I'm sorry, you're betraying your religion.
We cannot ever support anything religiously, politically, socially, culturally that is opposed to the Quran and the Sunnah.
Muslims, we don't believe that you can judge by kufr laws. You have to judge by the Quran Sunnah, but judge by the Sharia. That's why we cannot take our disputes to the kufr courts, the British kufr courts, or even any court which does not going to give a verdict based on the Quran and the Sunnah.
The answer is no. We can't bring Islam and democracy together. The reason is because, number one, the one that legislates in Islam is Allah alone, and he has no partners in his legislation.
This guy has been here since, I think, 1999, but only got citizenship in 2018 when he figured that he wanted to run for something. This guy belongs to a group of Muslims called the Twelvers, who believe that to this day, there is a 1,200-year-old living prophet on earth who is in hiding and is going to come out at some point soon and proselytize Islam the world over. And I've yet to hear any reporters on the campaign trail in New York put these questions to him and say, hey, you know, are you from this? Do you really believe in this stuff? Because he's affirmed his belief in that sect of Islam, Isna Ashari Shia Islam. But the voters of New York haven't actually got to grips with who this guy is. When he came here, what's he doing? What does he believe in?
Back when he was a rapper.
Bring the flavor to the fish, bring the flavor to the rice.
In a Disney movie directed by his mother.
Nepotism and hard work goes a long way.
Have won because New Yorkers have stood up for a city they can afford. A city where they can do more than just struggle. And it's where the mayor will use their power to reject Donald Trump's fascism, to stop mass ICE agents from deporting our neighbors.
I'm saying a sanctuary city for LGBTQIA+ workers, beyond saying that we're going to establish an office of LGBTQIA+ affairs, is also that we're going to provide $65 million in funding for gender-affirming care, the same amount of funding that the federal government is threatening to pull out from local providers for that kind of work. And in this moment especially, if we want to fight the Trump administration, we have to do so by fully funding our own services, taxing the wealthiest New Yorkers and corporations here.
On the subject of trust, you've adopted different speaking accents in different scenarios.
But they go to their local bodega.
Is there one that's real and one that's affected?
What I would say is, as any immigrant knows, having been born in Kampala, Uganda, and then raised in South Africa and moving here when I'm 7 years old, is there are different parts of my life.
A worldwide tour is a worldwide tour is a worldwide tour. Go ahead, make a rap for your natty. It's a rap. Get the glass, spin the rack on your natty. Spin the rack. Come through, give a dab to your natty. If you really feeling good, spin a track for your natty. Go ahead, make a rap for your natty.
Did you watch the New York City debates?
The first foreign visit by a mayor of New York is always considered significant. Where would you go first? Left to right, Ms. Adams.
First visit, I would visit the Holy Land.
Mr. Cuomo?
Given the hostility and the anti-Semitism that has been shown in New York, I would go to Israel.
Mr. Tilson, where would you go?
Yeah, I'd make my 4th trip to Israel, followed by my 5th trip to Ukraine, 2 of our greatest allies fighting on the front lines of the global war on terror.
Mr. Mamdani?
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel as mayor?
I will be doing, as the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their synagogues and temples or at their homes or at the subway platform, because ultimately we need to focus on delivering on their concerns.
And just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
Not
as a Jewish state?
As a state with equal rights.
He won't say it has a right to exist as a Jewish state. Be very clear.
And his answer was no, he won't visit Israel.
Further, toward the Vienna model, we'll have to go beyond the market. We can establish community land trusts to gradually buy up housing on the private market and convert it to community ownership. We can give tenants a right of first refusal to buy out their landlords when buildings go up for sale. And we can fully commit to a new era of social housing, ending subsidies for luxury housing development and using our wealth to build beautiful, high-quality social housing projects that offer good homes and strong communities to everyone. We won't decommodify housing overnight, but we know what we have to do, and we have history to guide us.
What the purpose is about this entire project is not simply to raise class consciousness, but to win socialism. And obviously raising class consciousness is a critical part of that. But making sure that we have candidates that both understand that and are willing to put that forward at every which moment that they have, at every which opportunity that they're given. We have to continue to elect more socialists. And we have to ensure that we are unapologetic about our socialism. There are also other issues that we firmly believe in, whether it's BDS, right, or whether it's the end goal of ceasing the means of production, where we do not have the same level of support at this very moment. And what I want to say is that it is critical that in the way that we organize, in the way that we set up our work and our priorities, that we do not leave any one issue for the other, that we do not meet a moment and only look at what people are ready for, but that we are doing both of these things in tandem, because it is critical for us to both meet people where they're at and to also organize for what is correct and for what is right, and to ensure that over time we can bring people to that issue. The ramifications of victory here is the difference between life and death for so many of our brothers, sisters, and family beyond the binary across this borough of Queens. It's the difference between having cash bail anymore or not. It's the difference between having sex work being decriminalized and not. And with every battle that we fight as socialists, we need to remember what the stakes are and ground ourselves in them and why those stakes are important and critical to us as individuals.
Socialism.
This is Zohran Mamdani. He's running for mayor of New York and currently polling second. Here's what he normally sounds like.
We gather tonight in the wealthiest city, in the wealthiest country, in the history of the world.
But in an interview in South Africa, he sounded a little different.
I actually created a playlist for Mira, who also happens to be my mother. Nepotism and hard work goes a long way.
And in an interview with the Turkish-American podcast, Mamdani sounded different again.
I'll be honest with you, Brother Mansoum, is that at this point, not many people are thinking about it.
And here is Zohran during his rapper days.
You know, it would have been here earlier, but a worldwide tour is a worldwide tour is a worldwide tour. As in, you can't
celebrity things.
You can't just stop it. You know. We have an opportunity to prove that Muslims don't just belong in New York City, we also belong in City Hall. Because in this city, alhamdulillah, we have 1 million Muslims.